Hello figure enthusiasts and welcome to Scaled Affairs, where I will take a closer look on scale figures, price figures and Nendoroids alike. Today's figure is Yulia Chardiet, also known as Yusha, from the anime series Endoro. Coming to you in a big windowless box, this figure distributed by Hobby Japan was released in late 2019. I'm not the biggest fan of windowless boxes, but even I have to admit that this flat printed piece of cardboard has a nice quality look to it. Inside the box you will find Yusha in her plastic blister, where they even included a little face window. Not sure why, since you won't see it until you unpack her, but they did. The two decorative elements on her base are already glued into place, so that you only have to place Julia on top of this little scrub thingy and also attach Chibi Dragon on top of it. The last step of mounting her proper is to stick the sword into the stone and clip a little peg into her left hand. The first thing you might notice is that this 1:7 version of Yusha is a pretty big figure, meaning with a height of 20 something centimeter, she might easily tower over similar lolly type characters in your collection. On the right side, I've summarized some of this figure's key details. I gotta be honest with you, I'm totally clueless about this series or the character. I've never watched the show, probably never will, and I only bought this figure because I thought she looks cute. I also wanted to stray away from IPs where I typically collect figures from. But when I looked up the series tab on my figure collection, Yusha was apparently the first in a series of characters, all released by Amakuni and all with the same base design. So if she is a harbinger of things to come, fans of this anime can look forward to some pretty decent depictions of their favorite characters. The paint job displayed here is near flawless. Most of the surfaces are coated in nice flat pastel finish, so that the few shiny parts stand out even more. Even smaller details like these buckles are painted with precision. Her hair, even if not very shaded, is molded greatly. I really like how they managed to let her twin tails flow while giving the upper part some weight to it. The only odd thing are those round dots in the front that should represent the highlights in her art style. Guess they are faithful, but judging by the artwork, don't pop at all. Every time I glance over them, I think, what's this, a paint error? Oh no, it's just the highlights. Okay then. Speaking of odd design choices, why is the graphic on this little tarot card thing a big sticker? I mean, it's already attached to the plastic tile, but it feels immensely cheap on an otherwise high-class figure. Personally, I also find this big translucent sword pretty hilarious. Like, I'm already said I'm not familiar with the source material and I assume it's show accurate, but it still totally reminds me of one of those ring pops that you can suck on. Further, I have to mention that I'm not the biggest fan of her pose. At first glance it seems fairly normal, but if we take a closer look, she leans in a way that seems more like the figure bent over time rather than a stylized concept of a jump. Of course, since her sword balances it out, Yusha will never really start to lean, but I would like it even more if her upper body formed more of an S shape. Her base design is fine, I guess. It has this nacre finish to it that you don't see that often, and also this corner of a marble block and the shrub is fairly detailed. Miss Chardiet's facial expression is alright, and since it's a bigger release, they got plenty of space to sculpt certain details like her mouth and nose. Still, I wish that her eyes had a different finish, because in my opinion the decal they used here looks a bit flat and uncanny. Chibi Dragon's expression of course is also fine, but you can't really screw up two dots in the squiggly line. In conclusion, this figure of Yulia Chardiet is really well produced, like you would expect from a company like Amakuni. If you are a big fan of this series, you will definitely enjoy her, and since high quality Endoro figures are scarce, prices might only go up from here, so you might want to keep an eye on those other already announced follow-up releases. Next time it's time for another figure release from Is the Order a Rabbit. Until then, take care and keep collecting those gorgeous figures.